All right, welcome to the third or fourth episode of the game where we look at hip hop, but we look at it from a perspective that nobody would believe we're going to look at it. Sometimes controversial, always true, but always something you wouldn't expect. So today we're going to talk about Jay Z. Jay Z is hating on, he's hating on Kanye. He's hating on Drake. Hating on Nicki Minaj. Coming out in a concert at the age of, how old is he? 62 years old in a concert, rapping. And I guess he's getting revenge on, yeah, with an afro. I think it's an implant. But anyway, he's out here taking shots at people who supposedly took shots at him. He said that his main diss on Drake was that Drake is an industry worker and not an industry boss like him. Oh, he's a boss. Drake is a worker. And Drake makes his millions by working for other people. He dissed. He didn't really diss Kanye. He just said, "Kanye, stop calling my children mentally ill. Please don't do that." That wasn't even a diss. That was more like chastising Kanye. Then he made fun of Nicki Minaj about her husband who has a criminal record. I mean, Jay-Z, you're a drug dealer. You probably killed a couple of people. You don't have a record because you haven't been caught. Okay. And throughout all of these disses, he kept talking about the same thing. You people don't have the money I have. You people aren't big businessmen like me. Jay-Z is a businessman. Jay-Z is not a rapper man. He even said Nas looks up to me. Nas is not a businessman. Nas is a worker. Nas is a poet. Nas is a hip-hop lyricist. Steez was not a businessman. Steez was a poet. He was a writer. Tupac was not a businessman. Suge Knight was. Biggie was not a businessman. What's his name was? Diddy was a businessman. Yeah. So Jay-Z, you're not a hip hop artist. What you are, Jay-Z is Sean Puffy Combs with slightly better rapping skills. All he talked about through all of his disses was how much money and how much business. And also he's a liar because we know that Live Nation and all of these companies like Hennessy and stuff give him money and use him as a front to make black people think that he's a ruler. He's just a worker like the rest of the black people. He's a puppet, to put it out there, to make it seem like he's number one, which is why he didn't go too deep into the diss. Helby, what do you think DMX would have done if Kanye West said the DMX children were mentally retarded? Do you think he would have dissed him lightly, or do you think he would have come there and broken his head? What do you think he would have done?
Yeah.
No, the point I'm making is that Jay-Z didn't do that because he's so-called, he's supposed to be civilized. He's not a real rapper. So what I'm saying is that Jay-Z took, last point, he filled the void when Biggie and Tupac died. Biggie and Tupac were real rappers, and they now brought in an Uncle Sam, a coconut, someone to represent and to no longer have these independent rappers who are feisty and stand for themselves. They brought in someone they could control. Then they brought in Diddy so that they could exploit people like Biggie, Tupac, and or after they die. Everybody knows Nas destroyed Jay-Z with Ether, but Jay-Z's only come back as, well, I am Nas's boss. So what? You're the boss. You're not a rapper. That's my point. What are your thoughts on Helby? He's a rapper. He's a good rapper, but he's nowhere in their level. Last thing, do you remember Eminem dissed him on his own album? Remember that album where Eminem dissed him?
With the song Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade. Eminem, a white boy, destroyed him. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jay-Z, on his tenure, on his
he's breaking. You're breaking. You're gonna have to move somewhere else. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Alex?
He was actually took.
He's took it.
You're going to have to move because we can't hear you. You're going to have to hold that thought. Try to move to another room or something. Okay. What are your thoughts, Alex?
Oh, you can hear me.
Okay, try again. Try again. Maybe turn off your screen. Just turn off your screen. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Turn off the screen.
Sometimes it helps for the data. Yeah. Or just go. What were you saying? Start again. Yeah.
I was saying Jay-Z is a good rapper.
Yes, he's a good rapper. Yeah.
He was a good rapper, and he stood his own like against like people like Nas. Nas is very lyrical. Nas is a good poet. So Jay-Z is standing up to Nas to a point where even Nas went down and kissed the pinky ring. For me,
that was about money. It wasn't about Jay-Z's rapping because Nas is a better rapper. It was about money. Yes, it's just like Donald Trump. People tell Donald Trump he's smart because he has money. That's not honorable. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I would say currently with this new generation kind of rappers like the Drakes and stuff, Jay-Z holds much weight when it comes to being poetic and being lyrical. On the business side, Jay-Z is a businessman, and he has proven himself on the business side. He has made moves. I would say that it was a bitch move that Jay-Z did to answer a kid when a kid backed at him. Drake started the beef. Jay-Z was just answering the shots that were already fired.
Yeah.
Drake fired first, right? So Jay-Z, as a businessman, as a guy who's been there with him, why did he have to answer a kid?
Okay, no, but here's the thing. Okay, first of all, Drake just released 3 albums that are selling 400,000 copies. Jay-Z can't do that anymore. He can't. He's never done it. Jay-Z has never sold albums the way Drake has. But the point I'm making is that what is Jay-Z? Is he a rapper and an MC, or is he a businessman? But what I'm saying is that can you give me one line from Jay-Z? Kanye West has millions of albums. You can't have without Mona Lisa. The rhymes that make me bad made me good. There's so many rhyme lyrics we can say from Kanye West and his songs. So many lines from Drake that we can say. Can you give me one line from Jay-Z that you can remember? No.
Let me start from the reasonable doubt. Let me start from the reasonable doubt, going upwards, right?
I'm so self-conscious. We have so much from Kanye. What do we have from Jay-Z? Nothing. Except for money.
We used to stand on this. Now we are in offices.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, unfortunately,
maybe.
Jay-Z always talks about his money. That's the only thing that he has now, because he's not in the streets anymore. He's a businessman. So he can't say anything other than his money.
Yeah, you're right. When Jay-Z first came out, when he was young, he was good. I'm not trying to diss Jay-Z, but I'm just saying that he's not really relevant. And let me stop hating on him, because he can come back at these guys, but it just doesn't really hold weight. I don't think it holds weight. I'm going to come back to you very, very quickly. What are your thoughts, Alex? Then we'll come back to Helby. Yeah. But I agree with most. I'm not arguing with you this time, Helby. I'm just taking shots at Jay-Z. That's all. Go ahead.
Alex, what are your thoughts? You really pulled off. Yeah, I think you really pulled off the mask of Jay-Z. Like, he's a businessman, like he no longer has that hunger to be that MC he used to be. And he's a total flat out hypocrite, He wants to stand up there on the stage at the Roots picnic, looking down his nose at Drake, mocking his UMG contract and calling him a corporate worker. Like he's some kind of independent, self-made rebel. But who is Hove actually standing with? He isn't standing alone. Literally, he's a businessman who built his entire modern empire side by side with the white man. Like literally, that alcohol brand of his, and also like you mentioned, Live Nation. Literally, and also the NFL thing. It doesn't make. He's such a hypocrite. So let's look at the receipts. He sold half of his Ace of Space champagne to, is it Bernard Arnold or something?
Yeah.
The ultimate luxury conglomerate white billionaire. His entire Rock Nation touring and entertainment machine is explicitly joint ventured and tied up at the hip of Live Nation. So when you said that, I was like, you're such a hypocrite, man.
No.
Or maybe he's just feeling jealous that... Yeah. Maybe he's feeling jealous that Drake 3 albums and broke Michael Jackson's records. I don't know.
Yeah. No, Drake, look, let's say something about Drake. Whether you like it or not, everybody loves his music. I remember I was in New York one day. This is when I was 40. I was like, I need a one dance, got a rhythm C in my hand, one more time. And somebody said, man, Drake good, even that old motherfucker know Drake. They were laughing because they said even old people are singing Drake. I'm not saying Drake is a good rapper, but Drake is very relevant. And especially Kanye. Kanye and Drake, they're no longer rappers, they're pop stars. And one thing I like about Drake is that Drake brought in Nicki Minaj. He brought in Lil Wayne. No, Lil Wayne brought in Drake.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, and then Drake brought in
Drake and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, and then Drake brought in Kendrick Lamar. If not for Drake, there would be no Kendrick Lamar. Drake brought in Kendrick Lamar. He also brought in who was the other person he brought in? Migos, and he turned people on to trap music.
Party Next Door.
Yeah, and he also made Future, and those guys became bigger than him, and he wasn't jealous. So what I'm saying is that Drake has done more for the black community of rappers than Jay-Z has. Jay-Z cheated Kanye. That's why Kanye left. Jay-Z and Dame Dash, they cheated people. Jay-Z, along with Diddy, turned people into prostitutes, pimps, and treated them bad. Drake has actually brought in new people. He gave credit to his guy 40. He brought in all those rappers from Canada. So what I'm saying is that Jay-Z, to me, is not a model of someone we should look at in the black community because he doesn't give back. Like, once again, if not for Drake, we wouldn't see Kendrick Lamar today. You know, even though Kendrick Lamar turned on him, I think that beef between him and Kendrick Lamar, they're both making money off of it. Second thing, Helby, you know, Jay-Z cheated Dame Dash, who was his partner. He cheated him. He double-crossed him. The guy is not an honorable person at all. He's a decent rapper, but I don't think he has the mouth to try to make himself seem like he's a grandee in hip-hop. What do you think, Helby? Is Helby there? So I think he went out. Yeah, so what are your thoughts, Alex? So the point I'm making is I'm not trying to take shots at Jay-Z, but he's coming out here talking about he's a businessman and stuff, which is fine, but that's not what hip-hop is about. Hip-hop is about lyrical skills, dissing people, and not just saying I have more money than you. You have to go deeper than money. And at the same time, when you look at what Drake has done, and look at what Kanye has done also, they work with so many different artists, and they don't make it all about themselves. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're pulling back the final curtain, you know, because you're 100% right. Jay-Z and Dame Dash cheated people, definitely. I mean, let's look at the entire fallout of Rockefeller. They built an empire on the backs of hungry, raw street talent. And when the money got heavy, the greed took over. And then the partnerships got shattered and people got left in the cold. So Jay-Z's entire public persona is a manufactured, polished fake designed to hide the fact that he cut ties with the very people whom helped him build the throne that he's in right now. And also, I think it was also strategic to be involved with Beyonce in a way because...
I was going to say that's a money marriage. It's a money marriage. Yeah, it's not love. Yeah.
Because he is with Beyonce. It's easy to brush that and say like, oh, I mean, he's Beyonce's husband. I mean, how bad could it be? And like you said, the absolute construct of Drake. Drake didn't just hold the spotlight. He brought in Migos, Party Next Door, all of these people. So for Jesus to stand up there on stage acting like he has some kind of superior morals, is the biggest G, is the joke of the century. You know, he wants to act like this high and mighty moral authority of hip hop, preaching about contracts and workers. Whereas when his own story is built on corporate betrayal and trading his street soul to partner with white billionaires, it's just really crazy.
And he brings up a lot of rappers who end up being better than him. Like he also brought up, who's the one we did last year? The guy, the one we did, who was it with Rock Nation? The one from the guy whose mother is white. I forgot his name. We did a show on him before. I can't remember his name now. J. Cole started under. So what he does is he manipulates these guys. Then eventually they go and do their own thing, and they never become as rich as he is. But they stay within the hip hop game and make very good albums. Whereas it seems like he just used hip hop as a vehicle to become very rich, and then he signed out of hip hop, and now he wants to come back and try to release something right after Drake does. Because what Drake did was took everybody surprised and did 3 albums with 40,000. Whether you like Drake or not, you have to admit the guy is relevant and works hard. So that's all I have to say. Not trying to disrespect Jay-Z, but I think he should just stick to business. He's even gotten to the point now where he's not even involved in hip hop. Yeah, what are your last thoughts? Then we'll get out. Yeah.
You know, let's just keep it 100% real to close out this episode. In 2026, Drake is an absolute commercial judgment flooding the world with an unprecedented triple album run, holding down the top spots on Billboard, breaking Michael Jackson's records, and completely controlling the cultural conversation. Everything right now is about Drake this. And then Jay-Z was sitting in his mansion, lonely, realizing nobody's talking about him, nobody really cares about him. The only time we remember him is if Beyonce drops something, you know?
Yeah.
So
he's wishing he was married to Rihanna. He's like, why did I got Beyonce? I want Rihanna. So let me stop.
Don't make me laugh.
That was a good one. I should be a rapper. I gotta get some good disses right. Let me stop.
Yeah, you should just be a rapper for real. You got the buzz. But like
Right.
to close it out, man, he needs to just sit down and chill. I mean, like he's in his 60s, like damn. Chill.
Yeah. I think he's I would think he's probably 50 something, 58 or something, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back next week for another episode of I can't remember the name of our show, The Game. That's what Beer does. The Game, where we always keep it real. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, Alex. I'll text you afterwards. Okay.